I'm waiting for the dogs to stop barking. I really want to edit this video later on, so I want to make sure their barking does not get recorded. Bark, 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 bark. Okay, I think I'm in the clear. Anyway, this is something that really caught my attention. I'm sure we all know who MrBeast is. Apparently, he made an AI. For this case, AIs don't really start from scratch. They actually need something to actually make something, if that makes sense. And we have another pretty well-known YouTuber who commented on it, Jacksepticeye. One of the very first and few YouTubers I've watched and paid attention to a long time ago in the past. But anyway, this is more AIs, and this time it's to generate YouTube thumbnails, which is pretty bad. It's no different from just stealing art online. From my general understanding, that's basically what it is. It's stealing more stuff to make the quote-unquote new YouTube thumbnail. That's basically what it is. That's... As an artist myself, I'm definitely not a supporter of AI that way. AIs can be very useful. It can be super useful. But once you start using it to start stealing and cheating, I'm definitely not a supporter of that. MrBeast's tool generates images that can take inspiration, quote-unquote, from other creators, and Jack was angry that his YouTube channel is featured in the tool's promo video. Woo! Big time move first. Also, I don't know what he was thinking with this. I'm going to the Dexter Tell article. MrBeast created a system that allows for YouTubers to AI generate thumbnails that are algorithmically tuned to optimize engagement for their videos. Can you at least make it from scratch without stealing something from somebody else, please? That's my main beef with this. Jacksepticeye has spoken out against him, condemning the practice entirely, and other creators have followed suit. While MrBeast has had his fair share of controversy in recent years. Oh yeah. And I don't even watch him, but I've seen enough of those controversies in these recent years circulating around my Twitter timeline to know what the heck that means. He has remained the biggest YouTuber in the world in terms of subscribers and average viewership per upload. Now, he's introduced a system that allows users to AI generate thumbnails for their YouTube videos in a way that makes their videos much more clickable. Can it at least be something that makes it from scratch? Not the AIs that literally just steal from other people to make something? That's generally how AIs work, but... please, not like this. As an artist myself, you know, on VGen, which is a very popular website for VTubers and content creators to commission artists for certain stuff, such as thumbnails, for example. Not just art, but thumbnails in general. Thumbnail art! This is like spitting on their faces. For my own personal opinion, AIs could be super useful for some occasions, for some uses. AIs could be super useful, but once you start stealing stuff like art and other people's thumbnails just to make something quote-unquote new, that's not really how it works. It's no different than plagiarizing. Does that make sense? No different than plagiarizing. You're just stealing something that somebody else made. Inspiration? Sure, quote-unquote inspiration. Okay, you got that, my dear hungries? If you want to use this, you have a monthly fee of $80 attached to the service. That's a lot cheaper than hiring a thumbnail artist for people who need clickable videos in order to turn YouTube into a career to make the platform more profitable. Is it really that hard for AIs to make something from scratch? I don't know. I don't know enough about coding in AIs to know if that's actually remotely plausible, but is it impossible? Do AIs need something, a source, at all times to even work? Is that how it works? It can never make something from scratch? It needs something in order to work? They need a source, but they don't need to steal. Okay. A source. Well, like I said, I don't know enough about computer science to make a comment on this. Maybe I'll ask the computer science majors in my family. Maybe they might know enough. If you want to make AIs work here, I don't know how it would work. So they would need a source, but how? Preferably without stealing from other people. Neuro doesn't steal data. Oh, here's his quote from Jacksepticeye. What the actual and he used my logo in the promotion for it too. I hate what this platform is turning into. AI, he said. Big time movers. Jacksepticeye has been critical of MrBeast in the past, believing that his approach to content creation is ruining YouTube and claiming that his approach takes the fun out of making videos. This caused beef between the two creators. They say AI is very controversial, but from my personal intake, like I said, AI could be super useful, but the way it's done nowadays, especially when it comes to art, And now, generating YouTube thumbnails on MrBeast's behalf, you're just stealing, dude. Like, usually the people who don't care are not even artists themselves. Like, they don't actually create something. Like, they wouldn't be able to draw something beyond a stick figure. They're the ones who usually don't care. And then we do have some artists who don't care in general, but that's very rare. A lot of artists, a lot, if not all, definitely a lot, are against AIs stealing art. You can use artists who are paid for their art as a source. Yeah, that's something that could work. But are they willing to set that perimeter? Are they willing to set that limit? Disney has a huge copyright lawsuit against Midjourney to stop AI art. Giant Evil Corporal may save all artists from AI. A lot of people say it's basically a controversial thing, whether or not AI-generated art is a bad thing, but from an artist perspective, such as myself, yeah, it definitely is. I wouldn't feel happy about having my art taken for AI-generated purposes. Heck, for some of the very few VTuber assets I've made, which are basically Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog plushies, VTuber assets, mind you, I strictly put no AI-generated art allowed here. Do not take this for the purpose of AI-generated art purposes. No, I strictly put that as a prohibition. No thank you. No AI-generated art here. No thank you. Some people say, no, it's not a big deal. I hate people who are being so morale about this. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. But like I said, most of the time, those people are not even artists themselves. They're not the ones who are hand-making something. You would think you hand-make something, you put hours and sweat into making something. A lot of artists do that. I know I've done that personally. That would make my blood boil. Personally, that would make my blood boil. I put something, a lot of my time and effort into just for an AI-generated thing to rip it apart and turn it into something else in a matter of seconds. And say, wow, this is amazing. So, the effort I put into was not amazing, but this piece of AI-generated art is amazing? Personally, I would get super pissed. So I can understand the mindset of people getting pissed over this. As an artist myself, who has actually put hours, who has taken their time to make something from their own hands, yeah, I would get pissed. Baka! Outlining the changes he wants to make to the tool. Oh, so he wants to make some changes. Quote unquote, already working on changes like face swap should only be used to swap your face in your thumbnail, obviously not others, and overall I'll build this more in a way to be inspiration for artists / a tool they use and not replace them. Very good feedback. My goal with view stats is to build tools to level the playing field between people like me with 300 employees and new creators that can't afford a small army, MrBeast explained. Well, what do you think about that small change? Any comments on that? Yeah, I agree. If you can use artists who are paid for their art as a source. I completely agree with that. At least, at the very least, it's consensual. You have the artist's consent. That way, the artist they've been paid their dues. And then the AI can generate whatever they want from that piece of art. I think that's completely fair. But when it's not consensual, no, that's not fair. I already explained my perspective of you spent hours or even days trying to make art with your bare hands. And trust me, as someone who has made more than just digital art, it could take days to create an art piece. And then just to have a piece of AI generate all of that in a matter of seconds and steal. And then people are going to call this art saying, wow! Yeah, no. No. No, that's... Bah! I can't say anything else further on that. Other than... that's my opinion on this whole entire matter.